So I was looking at an auction over at the Heritage Auctions. I was checking out the auction and stumbled upon this 19 card lot, 1956 tops. Looking through the cards and the names, I was a little intrigued. So we've got Gil Hodges, Bobby Thompson, Duke Snyder, Al Kaline, Yogi Berra, Carl Eskline, Don Little, Eddie Matthews, Phil Rizzuto, Richie Ashburn, Bob Feller, Robin Roberts, Don Larson, Sandy Koufax, Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, Harmon Killebrew, Early Win, Whitey Ford, and Jackie Robinson. And when I was checking this out yesterday, the auction was just over $500. So I started doing some math, beep, boop, boop. And I thought, this might be doable with my eyes being mostly peeled, mostly attracted to the Ernie Banks. I am brand new to vintage baseball cards. Not brand new, but pretty much in, I'd say, A ball. I'm in A ball, but I'm trying to move my way up to double A. And in doing so, I want to put together a player run of Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and Ernie Banks tops, just basic set. Looking for some PSAs or SGCs. I was going to just go with PSAs, but the more I look at the SGC, the more I like the look of vintage cards in the SGC holder. So I'll be looking at both of those as I go. But I thought, what if would it be possible to win the auction, all 19 cards, and then send them off for grading, sell off what I needed to sell in order to try to maybe end up with that Ernie Banks free or close to free if I was able to grind away and put in the work. So I created a spreadsheet, and this is what I've come up with. Now it looks to me that and again, I'm an A ball, I'm a rookie, but I went with SGC3 as far as trying to price these out to see if it would even be feasible to create such a fantasy dreamland of baseball cards, bidding on an auction, winning it, getting those cards, having them graded, getting them back, enjoying the unboxing, selling off a handful in order to try to get that Ernie Banks for as close to free as possible. So I put together this spreadsheet. We got Harmon Killebrew, and these three stats here are the last three sales, the most recent sales based on SGC3s. So, like for instance, we got Harmon Killebrew at 60, Early Win 25, Jackie Robinson 445, Bob Feller 52, Koufax 204, Ernie Banks 75, and so on. And I tallied it all up, and it ended up to be $1,285 if I was able to sell these off. Now, the red names, those are based on, well, it wouldn't be worth sending those away, paying $20 plus shipping and handling and insurance for these cards that would roughly cost about $23 all in to have them graded, when in fact an SGC3 only sells for 13. So I thought I would sell off the red ones on eBay raw. Okay, so I changed it to raw. These numbers are raw numbers now, I should say. So I have the tally there minus the eBay fee. I think it's like 13.5% now. I put in $20 a card plus $3 for shipping and taxes for SGC grading. Auction price, which is if I was to become the lead bidder at the time, I was going to put in $600 for the auction price and then have a net profit of $193, which is essentially should then get me the Ernie Banks for free. And or you can look at the return on investment being at 20.9% on the actual amount invested, and the net profit divided by the actual amount invested, coming up with 20.9%. So I kept watching the auction, and then it ended up going all the way to $900. So I was out, sadly, because if we then put in the $900 for the auction price minus 900, Then we end up with, oh, wow, you're losing $107. And I know that I can just take that money, buy the Ernie Banks directly for an average of $75 for an SGC3, and I would be way ahead. So I just wanted to share that thought process with you. I don't know if you're like me and this type of activity is interesting to you. It is actually exciting, especially with me being, kind of like a new kid in the candy store. Get your hand out of the cookie jar, Bart. But I enjoy this type of thought process, and I'll probably continue to do it. And I just wanted to share it with you to get your thoughts. I mean, do you think those cards are, is it, did I do the wrong math and these are fours and fives? I mean, you can't see them from this screenshot very well, but if you look at them on the auction site, it's these are in pretty good condition. I probably should have went a grade higher. You can see some of them have rounded corners, but color, the registry, the centering all looks pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So I wanted to err on the side of caution with those grades because, I didn't want to get too excited because, a Jackie Robinson looks like it's got a little damage there on it. But a Jackie Robinson, Harmon Killebrew, Sandy Koufax, Ernie Banks, and even a Yogi Berra, those can collect a great deal of money when you start getting into the higher grades. So that's just me checking in today with something I'm thinking about. I have a handful of vintage cards, a very tiny collection, but I want to be sharing the ones with you that I want to send off to SGC and then others that I'm going to be sending off to PSA. Some of my favorite YouTube videos are watching the unboxing from getting graded cards back. So I'll be looking to do some of that as well, trying to dip my foot in, put the little toe in the water of vintage cards because overall they seem to be the most attractive to me at this stage in my collecting career, which is a very young career. I just got back into the hobby on December 1st, 2021. I'll share that story with you on why that exact date stuck and how it happened, how I stumbled back into it, and then the journey that I've had since then. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.